frozen ship. In 1914, during the Antarctic expedition commanded by the famous polar explorer Ernst Shackleton, the crew of 28 set the goal to cross Antarctica. The ship, Endurance, had hardly reached the continent and was then surrounded and crushed by ice. For almost 17 months, the people fought for survival and embarked on a desperate hike to the campsite of whalers. Thanks to clear organization, discipline, and the skillful command of Shackleton, all 28 people survived and returned to their homeland. An eerie creature. An unknown creature was found by an American expedition in the thickness of ice at a depth of 675 meters. Remember the horror film Thing? It seems to be based on real events. The size of the creature is 20 centimeters. It has a 2-centimeter retractable jaw. Scientists are trying to determine its origin, classification, and method of nutrition. It is already clear that Antarctica is fraught with a lot of mysteries. It is also necessary to think whether it is necessary to solve them. 100-year-old whiskey. One of the amazing finds was 2 boxes of excellent Scotch whiskey lying under the ice layer for exactly 100 years. Discovering the find, the researchers did not immediately remove it from under the ice, fearing damage. They waited 3 years before special tools were delivered to the drilling site. The glacier was drilled and the drawers were neatly removed. The head driller replied to the journalist's question, "Do you want to try the drink?" Said that it is much more important to study the find than to possess it. Even if it's the best whiskey on earth, I will not drink it. Let it remain a mystery to me. On board the plane, which disappeared on January 23, 2013, there were 3 Canadians. The search was not successful. A year later, the wreckage of the plane was found on a very steep slope at the top of Mount Elizabeth. Most likely, the plane crashed against a mountain in the hopes that someone could survive. It is known only that on January 23, the plane that made the flight between the American station Amundsen Scott, located at the South Pole, and the Italian station Mario Zucchelli on the coast of Terranova Island, gave an alarm signal being 450 kilometers from the pole. Bloody Waterfall. It is a stream of red liquid that flows out of the Taylor Glacier in Antarctica. The color of this unusual waterfall is connected to a large content of iron oxide in the water. Salt water, rich in iron, periodically leave the crack in the glacier. The source of water for the Bloody Waterfall is a lake, which is a few kilometers away from it, and covered with a glacier 400 meters thick. This lake appeared after the retreat of the seawater, which covered the valleys and the onset of ice 1.5 million years ago. The salinity of the water in the lake exceeds the salinity of the world's oceans by 4 times, so the water in the waterfall does not freeze until -10 degrees. Petrified remains. In 2009, scientists found in the ice of Antarctica petrified remains belonging to an animal the size of a cat that could lay eggs. This animal was a distant relative of modern mammals living about 250 million years ago. It is particularly interesting that this species survived a mass extinction, which could be the result of global warming. It migrated from southern Africa to cool Antarctica. In those days, Antarctica was part of a supercontinent called Pangaea, which was formed about 299 million years ago and collapsed about 200 million years ago. The pyramids. For many years, people have been talking about certain pyramids located on the territory of Antarctica. According to some researchers, they are evidence of the existence of a proto-civilization, or maybe it's just ice buildup. The first news about the existence of man-made pyramids in Antarctica appeared on the internet in mid-June 2013. The main evidence was a slideshow of several photographs and several explanatory texts. Everyone can find and view these pyramids from above with the help of Google Maps. If it was not people who created them, the question arises, why did such bizarre shapes form? A special expedition will be sent to Antarctica to study the mysterious objects. Dinosaurs lived in Antarctica. In the mid-1980s and early 90s, scientists discovered several fossilized reptilian remains that once ruled the planet. Thanks to this find, it was found that dinosaurs lived on the southern continent 200 to 70 million years ago. Scientists suggest that living things could survive there, since the air temperature in those days was 50 degrees higher, and also because the Antarctic land was located elsewhere, roughly in the southwest of the modern Pacific Ocean. A mysterious ancient meteorite found in Antarctica. Due to its vast expanse, Antarctica is an excellent place to search for meteorites. In 2015, scientists from NASA and Stanford University found that a meteorite the size of a potato that flew from Mars and fell in Antarctica 13 years ago contains fossilized samples of ancient microbes from the red planet.